Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Finn never expected his world to shake like this, but everything he thought was solid has started to crack, and the pressure is pushing him toward a place he never imagined he'd go. For so long, he has been the calm presence in the chaos, the steady force in the middle of the forest or storms. But now, Finn is the one who feels lost, unheard, and increasingly alone. And while he tries to hold everything together, one truth keeps rising to the surface. The person he needs right now isn't Steffy, not anymore. It all starts with the emotional weight Finn has been carrying for months. Grief, guilt, confusion, and that deep sense of being pulled between two worlds. He has been trying to be the perfect husband, the perfect father, the perfect son, and somewhere along the way, he forgot to take care of himself. Steffy expects him to be her unwavering support, but she hasn't noticed how much he's drowning in his own unresolved pain. The more Finn tries to bring it up, the more shut down he feels. Every time he expresses what's weighing on his heart, Steffy turns it back to her worries, her fears, her frustrations. And Finn, exhausted, stays silent. But staying silent is taking a toll. There's a specific moment when Finn realizes he can't keep going like this. A moment when he reaches for Steffy emotionally, hoping she'll meet him halfway, only to be met with walls instead of warmth. Steffy's life is full, complicated, and fueled by stress, but Finn is starting to feel like he's no longer part of her inner circle. Instead of being partners, they've become two people sharing the same home but living in entirely separate emotional worlds. And Finn, desperate for understanding, needs someone who will just listen without judgment. That's when another presence quietly begins to enter the picture. Someone who sees the exhaustion in Finn's eyes before he even says a word. Someone who asks how he's doing and actually pauses long enough to hear the answer. Someone who doesn't demand, doesn't pressure, and doesn't make everything about themselves. No accusations. No defensiveness. Just genuine, human concern. At first, Finn tries to ignore it. He tells himself this is nothing. He reminds himself that his loyalty belongs to Steffy, his wife and the mother of his child. But the truth is, everyone needs a place to fall apart sometimes. And right now, Steffy isn't that place for him. The emotional gap between them is wider than either of them is willing to admit, and Finn has been carrying the weight of it alone. So when this unexpected person gives him the space to breathe, when they show him compassion he hasn't felt in a long time, Finn slowly lets down his guard. He begins to open up, first about small things, then about deeper, more painful truths. He talks about the pressure he's under, the constant tension, the expectations he feels he can't meet. He admits that he feels isolated in his own marriage, unsure of how to bridge the distance. And for the first time in a long time, he doesn't feel dismissed. He doesn't feel weak. He feels understood. This emotional connection isn't about romance, not yet. It's about vulnerability, about two people sharing a moment when one of them desperately needs support. But the more Finn exposes his heart, the more complicated this becomes. Because emotional intimacy, real intimacy, can be just as powerful, if not more powerful, than anything physical. Meanwhile, Steffy remains unaware of how fragile the situation has become. She assumes Finn is fine because that's what he always tells her. She's so focused on her own battles, her own fears, that she doesn't realize she's pushing Finn farther and farther away. And when Finn finally finds someone who listens, someone who cares, someone who offers comfort without conditions, the shift becomes impossible to ignore. For Finn, this new bond becomes a lifeline. It's the first time in months he feels grounded, the first time he can talk without feeling judged. And with every conversation, every moment of emotional honesty, the connection deepens. There's something soothing about being truly heard, something healing about having a shoulder to cry on that doesn't grow tense or cold. He begins to wonder how long he's been emotionally starving without even realizing it. But the real turning point comes when Finn breaks down completely. There is a moment where everything he's been trying to suppress finally rises to the surface. All the pressure, all the confusion, all the unshed tears, it all hits him at once. And this person, the one who unexpectedly became his safe place, is there to catch him as he falls apart. They don't tell him to toughen up. They don't tell him to get over it. They don't make it about themselves. They simply stay with him, offering quiet reassurance, giving him the space he needs to let go of everything he's been holding inside. And that changes everything. Finn never thought he would need someone other than his wife. But emotional needs don't always follow logic. When someone gives you exactly what your heart has been aching for, it becomes almost impossible to ignore. And although Finn isn't looking to cross any lines, the emotional intimacy forming here is already blurring them. Even he can feel it. This kind of connection doesn't just disappear. It grows. As Finn continues to seek comfort from this unexpected source, Steffy's world is about to be shaken. Because sooner or later, she's going to notice that Finn is drifting. Slowly, quietly, but unmistakably. Not physically, but emotionally. And emotional distance is far harder to repair. Right now, Finn is standing at a crossroads. He isn't planning to betray Steffy. He isn't looking for an affair. But he needs support, comfort, and understanding, and he's finally found it somewhere else. If Steffy doesn't step in soon, if she doesn't start listening instead of assuming, she may lose Finn in a way she never saw coming. Because a marriage doesn't fall apart in one dramatic moment. It unravels quietly, thread by thread, until the whole structure can't hold together anymore. And Finn's unraveling began long before Steffy realized anything was wrong. The question now is whether she'll notice in time, or whether Finn's heart will find a new home with the one person who held him when he needed it most. And as this emotional bond deepens, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Finn needs a shoulder to cry on, a space to be vulnerable, a connection that feels safe and genuine. And at this moment, that shoulder is absolutely not Steffy's. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.